All right. Let's finish off the rest of these here. Okie dokie. Fun times in Syria. Billy the Cunt. It's Martin from Sweden. Thank you for this podcast. No worries. It's been more than 10 years since I was almost raped in Syria. What the fuck? Although time passes, the story seems to never get old. All right. You know, are you really just going to fuck with me on this goddamn level here? Am I supposed to believe this is true? How time flies. It's like you're looking back fondly on this. This is weird. I was 17 when me and my class went on a school trip to Syria. Puts in parentheses, Middle East. Go fuck yourself. Jesus, I know I'm American. I know where Syria is. All right, one day all of my classmates were out snorkeling. I stayed in the hostel bed because I had a fever. 2 aspirins later, I found myself out looking for my class in sauna-like temperatures with a foolish mindset. My blonde, blue-eyed nature figured the aspirin had cured my fever, so I was in quite good spirits for about 7 miles of searching for the other Swedes. This is creeping me out. Now the fever was kicking back in at this point, and I'd given up my endeavors of snorkeling. I didn't know where I was or how to get back to my hostel. At that moment, a taxi pulled over, and the driver asked if I wanted to get a lift. I said I didn't have any money to offer, but he insisted that no money was needed for the ride. Oh, Jesus is right, yes. High fever and good amounts of gullibility led me to step into the cab, and off we went. Hi, welcome to Syria, the taxi guy said. You are very beautiful. I didn't want to be rude, so I said thanks back at him. Then he asked me if I liked women. Sure, I replied. Then he asked if I liked big women. Sure, I said. He said, you like big because same with your dick. He said. What? At this point, I regretted getting to what the fuck? You like big because same with your dick, he said. Okay, I thought this was a woman. So it's a guy, and now this dude... Oh, Jesus, here we go. At this point, I regret getting to the taxi very much in the moment after he was reaching for my package while he was driving. Oh, dude, that's... Oh, were you in the front seat? That's when you got to do... What was that fucking Schwarzenegger movie where he gets on the plane with that guy and he pretends to tie his shoe and he comes up with the elbow of death and drives the spine of his nose into his brain and then puts his little fucking... Tommy Bahama hat over his face, and he goes, don't disturb him. He's dead tired. That's what you needed to do. Was that raw deal? I think you needed to go raw deal there. Anyways, I say no stop. I said, but the taxi driver was very persistent. He wondered why he couldn't touch my penis like I owed him the right to do so. I was feeling extremely vulnerable, being a teenager foreigner and having a high fever and all. I shouted at him to stop the car, but he kept on going. Dude, you got to start going Dave the Hammer Schultz here, right? You got to start swinging, man. But he kept on going. I thought about jumping out of the car, but it was going way too fast. I also didn't want to start a fight and risk crashing the car. Jesus. At some point, dude, you got to pick your poison. Did it have airbags? Pictures of Taliban rape caves with Pulp Fiction gimp suits and gag balls was entering my mind as the taxi car continued to drive on without any intent to pull over. This is really happening. Oh, my Lord, I thought to myself. Luckily, we came to a traffic light and I managed to get out of the car and on the pavement. I started running when I heard him screaming at me, "1 Syrian pound, mister." Oh, God, now you got to get paid you got to pay him for molesting you? I got over the experience pretty soon, and it have not affected my life to any extent. No fucking way. People sometimes want me to tell the almost rape story and give impressions of the taxi driver. I can't help to think how unfunny it would be if I were a girl almost getting raped in Syria. Yeah, but you're a guy, so it's fucking... Everything that happens to a guy is hilarious. Nobody gives a shit. My question to you is, why is this story kind of funny if it happened to men, but awful in every way if it happened to a woman? Your thoughts on that after you go fuck yourself. P.S. Say hi to lovely Nia. This is why it's funny. Because you're able to fight him off. It's a guy with an accent grabbing your dick. when you tell the story. Oh, my friend, just like your dick, beep, beep, right? It's just hilarious. I remember one night we were down the Comedy Cellar and we were all telling stories about getting molested as kids, and it was one of the funniest nights I've ever had. It was so fucking cathartic, and we were just crying, laughing. And I remember all the comics were, you know, I don't know, had a different upbringing. We're looking at it like it was fucked up, but it was fucking hilarious to me. And if you told me this story, I would be laughing my ass off. Still knowing that you probably have some sort of fucking issue. It all depends. It all depends, you know. If that was the first person that ever touched you, you know, if no girl ever gave you a hand job, the fact that it was the first guy that ever did it, you know, his hairy fucking hand coming over, you know, that could possibly fuck you up. But, you know, if you had a little bit of sexual activity, maybe it doesn't. You know, it's kind of like, you know, if you're a relief pitcher and you got some saves under your belt, you let up a home run. Yeah, give me another fucking ball. But if that's your first fucking pitch, I mean, that could fuck with you. Why is it not funny when it happens to a woman? It's the same reason why it's like watching a guy get punched in the head is fucking funny. You know, if he was like talking shit, it's fucking funny. You know what I mean? But like, you know, kids, women, animals, like there's just never anything funny about watching them get abused. But there's just something hilarious about guys. I would say the reason why you get having your dick grabbed and getting molested is funny is the same reason why the Three Stooges is funny. You know, imagine the Three Stooges if it was women, you know, grabbing each other by the hair and slapping each other in the face. Maybe that'd be a little funny. I don't know. It's just like a guy thing. We like slapstick, and there's just something funny about him grabbing your fuck stick in some car, and then he charged you one Syrian pound. You know? What it really comes down to is I imagine being gay is not accepted even remotely in Syria. So this guy thought like, all right, even if this doesn't go down, or if it does go down, this story leaves this country and goes back to Sweden. So in the way, I'm going to say the cab driver was the victim and not you, and stop being so selfish. No, I'm fucking with you. I'm sorry that happened to you. What are you going to do? I mean, you were kind of asking for it because you were on cold medication. You know, I'm going to blame the victim here. Well, I mean, what were you wearing? I don't know, dude. That's one of the more, I want to say that's one of the more fucked up stories I've ever heard, but yeah, that just goes into that file. I've heard enough of those ones. Yeah, that's why it's not funny. So I would actually say that you are fucked up. There's no way you're not fucked up because that happened to you. And there's that feeling where it's just like, why is that funny when that happens to a guy? And then you feel like you can't fucking, that you should just, yeah, you know, I'm over it. Like, why would, that's a horrific fucking thing that happened to you. And I'm even like glancing over the whole thing because it's a guy. Like, hey, you know, fucking shake it off. Shake it off. And that's a part of growing up. There's always gonna be, you have a paper route or something like that. There'll be some weirdo coming at your junk at some point. But that's just how it is. I remember when that fucking, that lady cut the dude's dick off and put it in the garbage disposal. One of those shows, it's not The View. I think it's The Talk. The Asian lady, she was reading it, and as she was reading the details, they were all snickering, laughing. And I remember the bit I was doing. What if some guy cut a woman's titty off and threw it in the garbage disposal? I mean, they would have done a week-long special on that, and they would have tried to help the lady out, raise some money to get her a prosthetic, you know what I mean? So her bra wouldn't be all lopsided. That's what the fuck they do. But it happens to a guy, it's just fucking hilarious. And I also think that that's why guys are so fucking funny. You know? Because, you know, if a woman gets molested, it's a tragedy. If it happens to a guy, it's a sketch. We really don't have any options. You just got to shake it off, man. You know, having said all that, dude, I'm sorry that happened to you. I'm sure you're emotionally fucked up about it, but I would love to hear that story one time because I want to hear you imitating the guy. You know, and then listen to everybody interrupting. So wait, how fast were you going, dude? You couldn't jump out of the car? He's grabbing your dick. And then everybody be laughing, going, yeah, but if you jumped out, then he'd be like holding onto your dick, like just half in the car, half out of the car, right? Stretching out your dick, you know, and then you have one of those needle dicks because it's not going to give you any more girth. He's just going to, that's what the whole fucking thing would be. And all your friends would laugh and say that you wanted it. You know what I mean? Why didn't you sit in the back like a normal person? Why did you sit up front? You know, that's what guys would do. And they would laugh, you know, you just laugh your way through it. So, anyways, I guess I'm going to stop there on the